Hi guys, I'm Pacific, and welcome back to another episode of, Battlefield 1 commentaries. I don't even remember what I call this thing half the time. But in this video, I'm going to talk about the pretty good level design of the Battlefield 1 multiplayer maps. So, Battlefield 1 obviously has a lot of good qualities because everyone likes it, but I think one of its kind of highlight areas is its level design of its multiplayer maps, because lots of it's got a decent amount of multiplayer maps, but they're really fun to play, and they all kind of play a little differently. For instance, I'm playing on Monte Grappa right now, and it's very mountainous, and it's very long. So lots of times there's not a lot of flanking going on, and there's actually more snipers than, let's say, if you play on Amiens, which is a very square/circular map where you can kind of get attacked from all directions. Now, Monte Grappa also has a bunch of rocks everywhere. So you got people hiding behind rocks, there's a lot of open plains, not as much as its sister map, Empire's Edge, but still a good amount of them. But then every map, pretty sure, every map has some form of some kind of trench kind of thing, except for Amiens and Empire's Edge. I think those are the only two that don't have trenches. But I mean, right now, you know, this map, obviously there's these trenches right here. These are kind of trench-like. You know, they got the trenches right here. You know, all sorts of maps got trench stuff going on, because, you know, World War I was known for trenches, but they didn't overkill the trenches, because if you were just going from trench to trench to trench, just like a map full of trenches, not really going to be fun. And I think that they have a good mix of urban as well as open area combat, like this, but there's lots of maps that have urban combat as well. And you know, even maps like Empire's Edge and thei Fortress are very similar, yet very different, because thei Fortress is smaller, and the fortress part is more of a fortress and less of a chunk of the map, because on Empire's Edge, the castle is that's a huge portion of the map. If you control if you can control the castle by itself, you could basically go from the castle to your spawn and just capture all the objectives, because it's a castle. While in thei Fortress, the fortress is more of a nice bonus, along with all of your other objectives you have. And there's all these little differences in the maps, you know. To me, they all feel unique, every single one of them, because they all just, none of them take place in the same area, except for maybe Amiens and St. Quentin Scar, but St. Quentin Scar is pretty open, but it's also not in the Italian hills, it's in the British or French grassland. And I really like how the atmospheres of the maps play. You know, Ballroom Blitz, you have the Germans and the Americans. Ballroom Blitz is a style of map that really is, it leads you around. You feel like, you know, you can control as many sections of it as you can, but there's always someone there to mess up your plans. So you kind of have to be aware of, at all times, of Ballroom Blitz. Well, as if you play a map like Monte Grappa, it's more of systematically taking out the enemy and going just strong-arming them, seeing who's stronger instead of smarter. And even maps like Amiens is a good mix of, okay, we're gonna push, but we're also gonna kind of be smart, because Amiens is in the city, but it's got a good variety of objectives in its vicinity, as well as straight-on paths. And I think there's a good mix of small maps, medium maps, and large maps. And you know, the large maps, it's not all the large maps are perfectly circular and you gotta go around everywhere. I mean, Monte Grappa's a huge map, but it's a straight line basically. But then you have something like Amiens or St. Quentin Scar. Those are large maps, but St. Quentin Scar is basically a circle. So, you know, comparing St. Quentin Scar to Monte Grappa, not so much. And then you have landscape differences, like again, Monte Grappa, huge mountains, Ballroom Blitz, a big frickin' building in the middle of it. St. Quentin Scar, open fields with random buildings scattered throughout. Amiens is a frickin' huge city. You know, there's all these little details in every single map that make them all feel unique, make them all... They feel like different experiences. Like, whenever I play on this map, I always feel like when I win, it's because I'm tougher than the enemy. While if I win on Ballroom Blitz, we're tougher, but also way smarter than the enemy because of just the way that they play. And then you have, oh, it's Monte Grappa, so it's a little bit more fast-paced because you're like, you have to run across places, up and down mountains, and also dodge vehicles, because vehicles are very prevalent on this map. While in Amiens, you know, there's not a lot of fields, so it's slow, and you're like crouched like this, going through building to building, exploring, checking all corners, basically playing Rainbow Six Siege on a huge map. Dang it. So yeah, there's so many aspects I could cover about the level design of these maps, you know. Textures of rocks, styles, the way that the characters act, you know, how they end up playing out, all sorts of different aspects. And the bottom line is, every map in Battlefield 1 feels unique. It feels like its own experience. It's not, okay, when I play Battlefield 1, I'm playing, you know, on different maps. It is, I'm playing a map on Battlefield 1. I'm playing another map on Battlefield 1 that feels completely different. Ow, I just elbowed the thing. But it's like, all these maps, they just feel completely different, and none of them really play out the same. There's unique features about all of them, you know. Suez is very small, and a lot harder to come back from losing, and a lot harder to lose from winning. While something like Monte Grappa is usually really tight. I barely ever see airships on this map. Argonne Forest is very much getting paranoid about everything and really trying to figure out where the enemy's located. Like, there's always features from every map that the maps just are awesome. So go ahead, this is the end of the match, and as well as, this will be the end of the commentary. Go ahead and tell me what you think of the maps of Battlefield 1 and how they compare to other maps from, like, Battlefield 4, other Battlefield games like that. Do you like the maps of Battlefield 1? Do you dislike them? Do they feel the same to you? Do they feel different? Go ahead and start discussions in the comments below, because I said this in the last few commentaries, you guys are smarter than most of the YouTube population on this website. Trust me. Some comment sections, some adults act like 4-year-olds. My God. Anyway, subscribe if you're new, because I will be playing more Battlefield 1, doing more Battlefield 1 commentaries. And did I get a battle pack? Give me that battle pack. I want to open a battle pack. Come on, baby. I got a battle pack, so stay around. I'm not going to finish up my outro. No, I'm not going to play on Amiens. Let's open a battle pack, see what I get for the holiday revision. They doubled up the amount of awesome skins. And I still get a common one, that's okay. Again, with the Modelio 19. That's not a skin for the Modelio. That's, oh, I got one of those already. I have 2 puzzle pieces for that. But yeah, let's see what this skin looks like. So, look at that. Oh, that is the Modelio. Dang it. Well, Modelio. I got 3 skins now. Anyway, I'm on Pacific. See you guys in the next episode of whatever I decide to make.